What would you do if a girl lay onto you and says, "I'm gonna give you the best first time anyone's ever had"? Sounds like the start of a dream, right? Hito was just an ordinary, lonely guy. Then, out of nowhere, a gorgeous, badass assassin shows up as his maid, and surprise, she completely falls for him. Hito locked in his room all day, obsessed with online waifus, living his best zero social life lifestyle, while his house slowly transformed into a literal garbage zone. One morning, still half asleep, he hears the doorbell ring. Already annoyed, he checks the security cam and freezes. Standing outside is a cute girl, like suspiciously cute, and she's asking for a maid job. Now, obviously, Hito has no idea how to process this, but his brain stops working, so he just lets her in. He casually asks if she has any experience, and she hits him with, "Yeah, I used to be an assassin." And guess what? Bro's soul left his body instantly. Thinking she's joking, he tries to laugh it off, but nope, she's dead serious. And just to make things worse, she casually explains that her master sent her here to serve him. Hito is now mentally writing his will. He asks how they're even connected, and her explanation is so random and distant that it basically translates to, "They're complete strangers," which he accidentally blurts out, then instantly regrets, because yeah, angering an assassin? Not smart. To prove her skills, she drags him outside and casually throws knives into a tree, perfectly aligned in a straight line like it's nothing. At this point, Hito is done. He respectfully declines the service and asks her to leave. She looks disappointed, but accepts it and walks away. Hito sighs in relief, thinking he just escaped death. But then he notices she forgot a small bell. Being the decent guy he is, he runs after her, and right as he reaches the street, boom. Truck-kun enters the chat. His brain barely registers what's happening, until suddenly, he's pulled back. The assassin maid saves him. Now she's confused, holding her chest like, "Why is my heart beating like this?" Meanwhile, Hito is just standing there like, "Yeah, I almost died twice in 5 minutes." As she tries to leave again, something shifts in him. And just like that, Bro invites the assassin back, not to kill anyone, but to do a trial run. Back at the house, she starts explaining knife techniques like she's in a training seminar, and Hito has to stop her like, "No, I meant cleaning." He points at the mountain of trash and she casually asks, "How many of these have bodies inside?" Yeah, this is his life now. She agrees to try, but immediately breaks the mop, spills water everywhere, and somehow ends up with a bucket stuck on her head. Absolute disaster. She slips. Hito tries to help, but she flips midair and lands perfectly, only for the bucket to drop back on her head. Hito just stares. Are you always like this? Turns out, she's only good at one thing, killing. And for the first time, she looks genuinely unsure of herself. Instead of rejecting her, Hito just hands her a towel and says, "You can learn." And that hits her differently. They clean together, and somehow the house starts looking normal again. Later, they try cooking. She absolutely destroys a cabbage with insane knife skills, but has zero understanding of taste. Food to her is just fuel. Hito takes that personally. When she finally tries his food, she says it's delicious, and Bro is way too happy about it. That night, after a nightmare, Hito finds her in the kitchen, and for once, they just sit together and talk. She admits she's never experienced normal things like this before, not even dreams that weren't about killing. And when Hito mentions how he used to deal with nightmares as a kid, she quietly offers her lap. He panics at first, but eventually gives in. And as he rests there, for the first time, both of them feel something they've never felt before, comfort. The next morning, Hito wakes up expecting chaos, but instead, he sees the maid casually chopping trash into smaller pieces like she's prepping vegetables. Taking the garbage outside, he notices a box sitting at his doorstep. Suspicious already, he opens it and finds a puppy inside. Hito just stares at it like, "Yeah, my house is officially a shelter now." Inside the box is a note explaining the owner dumped the dog because it wasn't the small cute breed they expected. Turns out it's gonna grow big, and they didn't want the responsibility. Hito gets annoyed, but after looking at the tiny puppy in the heat, he sighs and decides to take it in. But that decision hits the maid differently. With a serious tone, she warns him that saving abandoned things without thinking can backfire. People, or animals, left behind should learn to survive on their own. Yeah, that got dark real quick. Hito, being Hito, just shrugs it off. He picks up the puppy and casually asks her, "So, yesterday, when you saved me, was that instinct or sympathy?" No answer. Bro just walks inside like he dropped a philosophical bomb and dipped. He then offers her to hold the puppy, but she instantly backs away. Now, Hito's curious. "Wait, are you scared of dogs?" She hesitates, then admits it. But of course, she adds that if he orders her, she'll do it anyway. After some questioning, she reveals the reason. During her training, she was abandoned in the wild with aggressive dogs. So yeah, trauma unlocked. Still wanting to help, she forces herself to hold the puppy and immediately starts shaking like her system is lagging. Right on cue, the puppy lightly bites her finger. She panics, almost launches it out the window. Hito saves the puppy just in time while she collapses on the floor, trying to recover like she just fought a boss battle. Meanwhile, the puppy starts nibbling on Hito too, and he realizes it's just teething. Later, they go out to get pet supplies, and on the way back, the maid quietly admits she's never met someone like him. No pressure, no punishment, no fear. For the first time, she doesn't feel like a tool. She asks him, almost unsure, "Do I even belong here?" He answers, "You wanted to leave that life behind, right? Then just live normally. Don't overthink it." Simple words, but they hit deep. That evening, while cooking, she tries doing things normally for once and realizes it's actually easier. When the puppy approaches her again, she almost attacks it out of reflex, but stops. It's just hungry. For the first time, she feeds it and even tries to pet it. When Hito returns, he smiles and names the dog Ajimo for absolutely no reason, but somehow it works. Later at dinner, she absolutely destroys her food again, especially the sauce. Yeah, she's addicted at this point. Then suddenly, she asks for something big, a name. After thinking for a moment, Hito names her Yuki because she was born on a snowy day. At first, painful memories hit her. Her old master used the same name, but for a cold reason. But hearing Hito talk about how much he loves snow, for the first time, that name feels warm and softly, almost like she's discovering herself. She repeats it, Yuki. If you're enjoying this journey so far, don't forget to hit subscribe and like the video. The next day, Yuki is outside playing with Ajimo. Yeah, the same girl who used to throw knives like a machine is now gently entertaining a puppy. Character development is hitting already. Meanwhile, Hito walks up holding something suspicious, a piercing gun. Turns out, bro wants to look cool in front of his friends, but doesn't have the courage to do it himself. So, obviously, he hands the job to a former assassin. Makes sense, right? Yuki takes the tool and prepares to do it, but right before pulling the trigger, she freezes. Her hands start trembling as she quietly asks if this is some kind of punishment, like she's being tested for messing up earlier. Hito is confused, because in his head, she used to literally stab people for a living, and now she's scared of a tiny piercing? But before things get more awkward, the doorbell saves him. Yuki opens it, and instantly gets hit with pure chaos. Standing outside is Riko, Hito's little sister, full energy, zero hesitation. She practically rushes in after hearing about the dog, but the moment she sees Yuki, she just stops. Her brain is trying to process why her socially awkward brother suddenly has a beautiful maid living with him. And when she sees the house is actually clean, yeah, she's not letting this slide. She immediately grabs Hito's face and starts interrogating him like a detective. Hito tries to explain, saying their mom would have overreacted, so he only told their dad, who, for some reason, just approved it like it was nothing. Riko is not impressed. But when Yuki politely introduces herself and casually mentions she used to be an assassin, everything pauses for a second. Hito panics, thinking this is the end. But instead, Riko's eyes start shining. Now she's even more interested. She starts asking questions like she just found her favorite anime character in real life. Even asks for an autograph, only to realize Yuki writes like a kindergartner. But the moment Yuki casually drops that she can speak 12 languages, yeah, Riko is sold. Soon enough, Riko drags Yuki outside for a demo, and without hesitation, she puts an apple on her own head. Absolute confidence. One throw later, Yuki slices it perfectly, clean, effortless. Hito on the side is questioning his entire life. After all the excitement, Riko gets hungry and naturally asks Yuki to cook, only to find out her signature dish is basically shredded cabbage. So yeah, they all agree to just grab burgers instead. While eating, they notice a summer festival happening that night. The moment Hito mentions there's a special sauce there, Yuki's entire personality shifts. Yeah, she's going. At the festival, things start normal. Games, food, vibes, but quickly turn questionable. The shooting game is clearly rigged, and for the first time, Yuki starts doubting herself. Imagine being trained to eliminate targets, but losing to a carnival game. Pain. They move on, enjoy some food, and eventually sit down as fireworks begin lighting up the sky. But of course, peace doesn't last. On their way back, a biker suddenly rushes past them. A thief. In the chaos, Riko is about to get hit. But before anything happens, Yuki instantly pulls her to safety. Hito is relieved, but also notices Riko acting a little flustered. Hito gets angry, saying people like that deserve punishment. And yeah, wrong thing to say in front of Yuki, because before he can stop her, she's already gone. Next thing you know, she's running across rooftops like it's another Tuesday. Within seconds, she takes out the biker with perfect precision and corners him. Hito rushes in, panicking, thinking she's about to end him, but instead, she just taps his helmet. This is his punishment. Moments later, the police arrive and take the guy away. And just like that, Yuki proves something important. She's learning, not how to kill, but how to live normally. And honestly, she's getting there. As Hito returns for the new school year, he starts worrying about whether Yuki will be okay alone at home. Suddenly, one of his delinquent friends rushes over, asking if he's heard about the mysterious Maid cosplayer in town. Hito spits out his drink and immediately pretends he knows nothing to avoid suspicion. Before he can process it, their teacher walks in. "All right, class, we have a new transfer student today." The moment Yuki walks in, Hito's soul leaves his body. The teacher walks in and casually introduces the new transfer student as Hito's cousin, telling her to take the seat right in front of him. Hito is still buffering, like his brain just crashed. And then Yuki turns around, smiles, and says, "I look forward to studying with you, master." Yeah, the entire class instantly switches to jealousy mode. Hito? He's finished. The rest of the day feels like torture, and by the time school ends, bro looks spiritually exhausted. As he walks out, he spots Riko waiting, and everything clicks. She's behind this chaos. Before he can even complain, she jumps in excitement like, "Surprise! Was it good?" Hito just sighs, completely defeated. On the way home, Riko proudly explains that Yuki learned everything in just 3 days. But Hito isn't impressed. He's confused. How did she even get into his school and his class? Yuki casually explains it was all Riko's plan, including the fake cousin story. And as for admission, yeah, she used underworld connections. Hito nearly chokes hearing that. Then Yuki adds that Riko told her not to inform him because his reaction would be funny. Without thinking, Hito lightly bonks Riko's head. Yuki gets worried, but he just sighs, saying he's not mad, just shocked. Then he smirks. Well, guess we're doing high school together now. At lunch break, things turn into a battlefield. Students rush toward the cafeteria for the legendary Katsuda bread. Limited stock, once a week. The moment Yuki hears about a special sauce inside one of them, it's over. She declares she'll get it. And before Hito can stop her, she jumps out the window. Yeah, casually. Hito runs after her in panic, only to see her sprinting across rooftops like this is a mission. At this point, he just accepts it. When girls are determined about food, nothing can stop them. Using insane parkour, Yuki reaches the shop first and confidently orders, only to find out there's a 1 bread per person limit. When she returns, she's trembling. Not from fear, but disappointment. She apologizes for only getting the special bread for herself and a regular one for him. Hito shrugs it off and tells her to enjoy it. That's all she needed to hear. She lights up and starts eating happily. And honestly, just watching her enjoy it makes him smile. Then suddenly, she breaks off a piece and shoves it straight into his mouth. Yeah, no warning. Later that night, Riko shows up again and immediately starts her nonsense, saying she wants Yuki as her older sister. Her solution? Hito should just marry her. Hito almost dies on the spot. He denies everything, but Riko isn't backing down, insisting Yuki might confess soon. And right on cue, Yuki walks in. Riko doesn't hesitate. She straight up asks if Yuki likes Hito. Yuki nods innocently, saying she admires him. Hito is internally collapsing. The next day, Hito is half dead from lack of sleep and dozes off in class. The teacher throws chalk at him, but Yuki slices it midair like a pro. Sounds cool, until both halves smack directly into Hito's eyes. Yeah, mission failed successfully. At the infirmary, things somehow get even weirder when the new nurse, Nazca, starts teasing him way too much. Hito is already uncomfortable, and just when things get out of hand, boom, Yuki bursts in. One look at the situation, and she instantly pulls Hito behind her like a shield, warning the nurse to stay away. As she drags him out, still holding his hand, Hito realizes something. Yeah, Yuki is definitely not normal. Turns out, Nazca really is an assassin, but unlike Yuki, her motivation is completely unhinged. Her dream isn't power or revenge. It's building a personal harem of handsome guys and retiring in luxury. And now, she's one step away from achieving it, because if she takes down Yuki, she gets the money, the reputation, everything. That same night, Hito is struggling to sleep, but not because of fear. It's because Yuki is literally standing over him like a security camera. He groans, begging her to relax, but she refuses, saying that dangerous woman might attack at any moment. When he complains he can't sleep like this, Yuki pauses, then calmly climbs into bed next to him. Yeah, now he definitely can't sleep. Hito is panicking internally, trying to act normal while his brain is going wild. He quickly changes the topic, saying he's actually more worried about her. That's when it hits. What if Nazca is targeting Yuki? For the first time, she considers it seriously. Still, she reassures him she can handle someone like Nazca easily, but deep down, doubt starts creeping in. Has her past finally caught up to her? Without warning, she gently holds his hand and promises to protect him no matter what. Hito's heart almost explodes on the spot. Trying to calm himself, he goes to open the window, but Yuki stops him, insisting she'll check first in case of snipers. As she opens it, a familiar scent drifts in. Sauce. Her favorite. For a split second, she's completely distracted. Looks like you've gone soft. Yuki freezes. She turns around, and there's Nazca, already inside the room, holding Hito hostage. The atmosphere instantly shifts. Nazca mocks her, saying she's lost her edge playing house, then reveals the truth. She's here to kill her. Not just anyone, but the infamous assassin known as Ju, one of the elite members of the Dragon's Nine. Yeah, Yuki's past just got exposed. Unable to fight directly, Nazca sets the terms. Meet her at school at 2 a.m. if she wants Hito alive. Then she vanishes, leaving Yuki alone with one harsh truth. She can't run from who she was. For a moment, she considers going back to her old ways. Eliminate the threat, disappear, and protect Hito from afar. But then, she remembers his words. The life she wants now isn't one of killing. It's this one. Meanwhile, Hito, tied up at school, is surprisingly calm. When Nazca tries to intimidate him, he simply says he trusts Yuki. At exactly 2 a.m., Yuki arrives. The moment she sees Hito, she moves. Nazca fires, but Yuki deflects the bullets effortlessly. Traps explode, flames rise, and still, Yuki walks through it untouched. This isn't a fight anymore. It's domination. Even when Nazca threatens Hito with snipers, Yuki doesn't hesitate. In a single move, she throws knives with insane precision, redirecting every shot. One more strike and Nazca is completely disarmed. Now terrified, Nazca tries to break her mentally, saying she'll never live a normal life. But Yuki doesn't waver. I won't kill anymore, and I won't let anyone die because of me. With that, she frees Hito and walks away. Nazca, lying there, realizes something terrifying. Yuki could have ended her at any moment. She just chose not to. On the way home, Yuki quietly apologizes, offering to leave his life to keep him safe. But Hito simply holds her hand and says, next time she should teach him how to fight. Yeah, he's not letting her go that easily. The next day at school, Yuki absolutely dominates the volleyball match. Point after point, clean hits, perfect timing. Yeah, she's carrying the entire game like it's nothing. Meanwhile, the guys on the sidelines are just staring, trying to process how someone like her is related to Hito. But Hito? He doesn't even react. He already knows she's built different. Still, after everything that happened last night, his mind keeps drifting. He wants to know more about her past, but he holds back. She's trying to move forward, and he doesn't want to ruin that. As Yuki smiles at him from across the court, every guy turns and glares at Hito like he just committed a crime. He ignores it until a volleyball comes flying straight at his face. Just before impact, someone catches it. Hito looks up and instantly freezes. Nazca, now with blonde hair, casually flirting like nothing ever happened. She sits next to him, way too close, acting all friendly, which only makes the guys around him even more jealous. Hito's brain reboots, flashing back to earlier that morning when they ran into her. Yuki was instantly on guard, but Nazca just smiled and dropped the most absurd update. She quit being the nurse and is now the new PE teacher, and somehow also Hito's cousin. Yeah, even Hito couldn't process that one. But Nazca brushed it off, saying she's a master of disguise and this is her real look. She claims she's not here to cause trouble, she just finds Yuki interesting. A legendary assassin trying to live a normal life? That's entertainment for her. To prove she's not a threat, she even offers a deal. 3 months worth of Katsuda bread. The moment Yuki hears that, yeah, she accepts instantly. Priorities. Now the problem? Nazca completely ignores the low-profile part. She keeps sticking close to Hito, teasing him non-stop just to mess with him. Watching this, Yuki slowly loses control. During the game, she spikes the ball so hard it tears through the net and smashes into the wall. Everyone goes silent. Yeah, that was not normal. Later at lunch, she apologizes quietly, unsure why she reacted like that. Hito reassures her, but she hesitates before admitting something feels off. Seeing Nazca get close to him bothered her more than expected. She asks if that's normal, and that's when it clicks. Yuki is jealous. A few days later, things calm down a bit. Yuki gets excited over something as simple as properly washed towels, proudly showing Hito like it's a huge achievement. He praises her, and yeah, she lights up instantly. The little things matter now. Later, they head out to buy pork cutlets, and of course, Yuki is completely distracted by the sauce again, staring at it like it's treasure. Inside the shop, she watches the old man cutting meat with insane precision and immediately assumes he's some hidden master assassin. Hito just lets her believe it. Honestly, it's funnier that way. The shop owner explains that the real reason Yuki enjoys food now isn't just the taste. It's because she's finally experiencing happiness. And for a moment, Yuki realizes that might actually be true. That night, as Hito looks into her past, he finds almost nothing. Just rumors, myths, like she never existed. When he falls asleep, he dreams of his mother leaving again. But this time, something changes. Instead of being alone in the darkness, Yuki appears, like someone who came to save him. And when he wakes up in her arms, flustered and confused, he finally understands something. Yeah, she didn't just change her life, she changed his too. The next day, Yuki heads out to the market like usual, calmly shopping for groceries while every guy around her just stares like they've never seen a human before. She ignores all of it and focuses on her task. But things get interesting when a shy girl approaches her, nervously complimenting how pretty and cool she looks. Yuki politely accepts, until the girl asks where she got her outfit, because apparently, maid uniforms aren't something normal people wear. Yeah, that hits Yuki harder than expected. Later, when Hito arrives, she immediately asks him if that's true. He hesitates, then confirms it. And just like that, Yuki unlocks a new identity crisis. So on Sunday, they decide to fix that by going shopping for casual clothes. But the moment they arrive, boom, Riko is already there, and somehow, Nazca too. Hito is done, completely done. Turns out, Nazca planted a listening device in his house and came along for fashion advice. Yeah, privacy is no longer a thing in his life. Riko, being Riko, drags everyone into a store she claims is perfect, only for it to be a cosplay shop. Within minutes, she's forcing Yuki into flashy maid outfits and taking pictures like this as a photo shoot. Yuki, however, is not impressed. Too impractical. Not enough space for certain tools. Hito reminds her she doesn't need weapons anymore, but she quietly admits they make her feel safe. Eventually, they move to an actual clothing store where Yuki tries on different outfits while Riko and Nazca secretly sneak in a swimsuit just to mess with Hito. When asked for his opinion, Hito panics and blurts out that he likes her in a simple white dress. Nazca instantly starts laughing, teasing him for being way too innocent. Yeah, bro walked right into that one. After shopping, they pass by a Halloween store, and of course, Riko runs inside. Soon, everyone's trying on costumes, witch outfits, random styles, and somehow Nazca ends up choosing something completely questionable. At this point, Riko and Nazca start bonding way too well, leaving Hito and Yuki standing there like, how did it come to this? Trying to reset the vibe, Hito suggests watching a movie. Yuki hesitates, admitting she's never actually watched one normally, only used cinemas for missions. That awkward silence hits again, but this time they go anyway. Inside, Nazca falls asleep, but Yuki is fully locked in. Unfortunately, it's a zombie movie. And yeah, big mistake. By the end, she's genuinely scared. Not of fighting them, but of the smell. And the fact that you can't kill something already dead. That alone messes with her. To cheer her up, Hito treats everyone to desserts. And for a while, things feel light again. But from across the street, someone is watching. A quiet girl named Naka, being reminded harshly that distractions make weak assassins. Still, her eyes drift back to them. Later that night, things calm down. Yuki returns home, changes back into her maid uniform, and starts thinking. Even after trying new clothes, she can't let this go. It means too much. When Hito notices, she finally explains. The uniform isn't just clothing. It's tied to the man who saved her and gave her a second chance. That's why she can't abandon it. Hito listens, then simply says, it's normal. Not everything has to be let go. Sometimes, holding on is part of moving forward. She touches the small bell around her neck. It's the only thing that reminds her of her sister. Hito immediately stiffens. Wait, you have a sister? But instead of answering, Yuki just stares at him blankly. The next day, Hito and Yuki visit a ramen shop with Nazca, the only one who might help them track down Yuki's sister. But first, Nazca demands Hito treat her. Moments later, she slurps an entire bowl faster than Naruto and leans back smirking. Good, but not nearly enough to pay for my services. Hito groans, suggesting they split the bill, while Yuki is too busy drowning her ramen in katsuda sauce. Nazca practically faints. You're committing a culinary crime, she yells, but Yuki ignores her. Then horror strikes. Her sauce bottle is nearly empty. Hito rushes her to the shop, only to find the old lady has sold most of it to other students. Yuki forces a smile, but Hito can practically hear her heart breaking. That night, Yuki stares at the tiny bit left in the bottle like it's treasure, vowing to ration it for a whole week. Hito watches, deciding it's time to snap her out of sauce despair. What will you say to your sister when you meet her? He asks. Yuki hesitates. Memories of her past are hazy, her sister's face almost forgotten, but she clutches the matching bell their mother gave them. Then, she admits her fear. What if her sister hates her? Hito suggests stopping Nasuka, but Yuki shakes her head. Even scared, she wants to know her sister is okay. Shopping that day turns chaotic. Hito's friends show up, curious why two pretty women are suddenly around him. As they tease him about his middle school dark phase, a signed album nearly falls into a drain. Yuki leaps, saving it, but her sauce bottle shatters. That night, she dreams of an enormous, empty bottle mocking her. "Hito, I have no reason left to live," she groans the next morning. Hito stifles laughter, promising more sauce next week. Unable to sleep alone that night, Yuki shyly asks to stay by Hito. Blushing, he agrees to keep her company. Over coffee, she pauses, then asks, "Have you ever hated someone?" Hito admits he disliked his father at one point, but clarifies family is complicated. Yuki's mind drifts back to her own past. Her sister's anger, assassins attacking, and her master demanding she return. But Hito's voice pulls her back, and she hugs him tightly, finally finding comfort. The next day, Yuki learns about the Katsuda festival and drools over the thought of the special sauce prize. But panic hits when she realizes her test score could ruin the class average. Hito reassures her, but Nasuka points out she forgot to write her name on the test. Automatic fail. Yuki panics, Hito negotiates, and Nasuka reluctantly agrees. For now. Then a gust of wind reveals Yuki's name magically written on the paper. Hito plays lawyer. "It was always there." Nasuka glares but lets it slide. From behind a wall, a shy, pink-haired girl appears. "I'm Naka," she stammers, introducing herself as a classmate who knows a way to win the festival. Yuki smiles, hopeful, and maybe there's a chance for victory and more sauce. Naka drops a bombshell. She's a descendant of the prestigious Hikage family, masters of martial arts for generations. Trained under her strict older brother Tatsu, she's still under his watchful eye. Despite his tough exterior, he deeply cares for her. But as student council president, he's suspicious of Yuki and decides to investigate her personally. Meanwhile, the school festival kicks off. Hito's class runs an animal cafe, and backstage, Yuki, Hito, and Naka pack candies. Naka confides that Tatsu has never acknowledged her efforts, and she hopes that by participating in the festival, he will finally notice. Yet there's another reason she's eager to win, one too flustered to say aloud. The next event, a cops and robbers style game, demands athleticism. Suddenly, a massive Katsuda sauce mascot crashes in, startling Yuki. Inside, Hito's delinquent friend Taiga, a hardcore sauce fan, determined to compete in costume. He's confident that with Yuki and Naka on his team, victory is theirs. Hito notices something odd. Naka, surprisingly, is eager despite being typically unnoticed in gym class. She admits she dislikes attention, yet Yuki trusts her, promising they'll defeat Tatsu's team. Unbeknownst to them, Tatsu overhears, darkening his expression, convinced Yuki is turning his sister against him. Later, as Hito and friends eat lunch, Taiga boasts about wearing the mascot costume to attract media attention. Hito panics. If footage leaks, Yuki's identity could be exposed. Riko arrives, diverting attention, while Naka shyly asks Yuki to be her friend. Yuki agrees instantly, bringing Naka joy. The main event begins, hosted by Idol Nasuka, a 1v3 tag game. Tatsu, as student council president, must capture 3 students. If one escapes, their team wins. Everyone wears class-themed outfits, hiding Yuki's identity under a wolf costume. The game begins. Tatsu obliterates everyone except Yuki's team. Taiga charges and is instantly taken down. Tatsu turns to Yuki, ready to capture her, but she grabs his arm, halting him. He seizes her tail, and Naka sacrifices herself with a smoke bomb, inadvertently causing Tatsu to throw his own sister. Yuki recalls Hito's words about friendship, helping each other. As Tatsu regains focus, Yuki holds him back, stunning the crowd, and slams him to the ground. With 20 seconds left, she races to Naka, kneeling before her. "I finally understand friendship. I want to be someone special to you." Naka blushes, but Tatsu grabs Yuki, the whistle blows. They lose. Yuki freezes. Second place means no Katsuda sauce. Her brain crashes. Chaos erupts as media rushes in. Thinking fast, Naka throws a smoke bomb, swapping costumes. Taiga dons the wolf outfit, Yuki the sauce costume. Hito and Riko arrive. Naka reassures them she's safe, whisking Yuki away. Behind the school, they share a heartfelt moment. Success and failure belong to friends. Naka is deeply moved. Tatsu appears, shooting Yuki a glare. "If you hurt Naka, you'll pay," he warns. Yuki, unfazed, simply stares back. That night, Hito finds Yuki alone on the rooftop while the festival rages below. She confesses her mixed feelings. Hito smiles, simplifying it. She enjoyed herself. Yuki realizes he's right. Then he casually adds, "We can always try to win next year." Yuki freezes. She's never thought about tomorrow, always living as if death could come at any moment. But now, she's imagining a future she wants to see. The next day, Hito and Yuki invite Naka over. She shows off her ninja skills, throwing shurikens at a target with precise accuracy. Hito and Yuki applaud, impressed, but Naka insists she's no prodigy. Her older brother Tatsu is the real deal. She confesses that sometimes she wishes she weren't born into such responsibility, that life would be easier as a normal girl. Yuki's heart softens. She admits she understands completely, and for the first time, they bond over their shared dream of normalcy. Hito watches, smiling at the heartwarming scene. Suddenly, Nazca appears behind him. "Looks like you're finally building your harem," she teases, eyeing Yuki and Naka. "Two cute girls already." "So, who's your pick for tonight?" Hito panics. "I'm not interested." Meanwhile, Yuki demonstrates her knife-throwing skills to Naka. Nazca, snuggling close to Hito, teases, "Wanna feel heaven?" A knife lodges in the wall behind her. Yuki, smiling innocently, apologizes. "Oops, my hand slipped." Furious and terrified, Nazca warns, "If you kill me, no info on your sister." Naka's curiosity spikes. "Wait, you're not ordinary either?" she asks. Nazca smirks, revealing she knows Naka is a ninja heir, and also that Naka wrote Yuki's name on the test. Naka freezes. But when Yuki's murderous aura flares, Nazca wisely retreats, teasing them about an intimate Christmas before leaving. Snow begins to fall, and Hito receives a message from his father. He's coming home for Christmas. The next morning, Ajimo plays in the snow. Hito builds a tiny snowman. Yuki tries to copy him, but hers is hilariously deformed. Hito reassures her, calling it unique, but Ajimo jumps on it, crushing it completely. Yuki looks devastated. Later, Hito walks through the snowy streets following a crowd and freezes. Yuki, dressed like a model, is waiting for him. She wraps a scarf around his neck. "I warmed it for you," she says. Hito short-circuits. Before he can protest, she grabs his hand. That's the intention. As they walk together, Hito questions his feelings, and Yuki laughs, blushing. Her name means snow, and hearing him speak fondly of the snow makes her heart race. Hito turns bright red, inexplicably drawn to her. The next day, Riko arrives, proudly detailing how she helped Yuki pick her outfit. She introduces a love compatibility app, insisting it works even for non-couples. Hito answers her questions nervously, but when asked if either has ever confessed, he lies, bringing their compatibility to 96%. Riko gasps, "You two are basically a couple already." Yuki comes back from shopping, and Riko immediately puts her to the test. Yuki confidently answers yes to every question, earning a perfect score. Riko proudly declares that their mutual affection has now reached 196%. Later that evening, as they sit around the heated table for dinner, Riko starts sharing some rather embarrassing stories about Hito. Alarmed, he tries to stop her by kicking under the table, but quickly realizes to his horror that he's been kicking Yuki instead. Misinterpreting it as a playful gesture, Yuki blushes deeply. Flustered, Hito pulls back, unsure what to do, while Riko watches with a sly grin and teases, "Oh? A little secret between lovebirds?" The next morning starts off already weird. Hito wakes up and realizes Yuki is sleeping right next to him, completely at peace like this is normal. His brain instantly panics. He quietly slips out of bed and escapes outside to calm down. To be fair, this wasn't random. Yuki had been having nightmares, and he told her she could sleep beside him. It sounded fine at the time, but now that she's actually that close, it's completely messing with him. Of course, the timing couldn't be worse. Yuki follows him outside and casually asks if he's okay. Hito, internally falling apart, blurts out something about it being deep cleaning day. Yuki believes him immediately and starts cleaning, while Hito stays outside, stuck in his own thoughts. He briefly considers confessing, but then that old memory hits. His childhood rejection and the words that still haunt him, that his feelings aren't love, just fear of being alone. His confidence disappears instantly. Inside, Yuki gives cleaning her all, starting with mopping. But thanks to Agamo, everything goes wrong. By the time Hito comes back, the floor is a mess, Yuki is soaked in dirty water, and Agamo is standing proudly on her head. She apologizes, but Hito just tells her to take a warm shower. That should have been it, until he notices her soaked shirt. His heart races and he immediately runs off, scolding himself. Then the moment turns heavy. Memories of his mother leaving and his past rejection come back, and he realizes something terrifying. If Yuki left him too, he wouldn't be able to handle it. Just then, Yuki knocks, worried. When Hito opens the door, He's stunned to see her kneeling, offering her lap as a pillow. She gently tells him to lie down. He panics and refuses, saying it's embarrassing. The words hit her hard. Her expression falls, and she quietly asks if he's bored of her before starting to cry. Hito has no idea what to do and ends up telling her to take a bath so she doesn't catch a cold. It's the worst response. As she walks away, he realizes he made everything worse. After that, Yuki becomes overly emotional, crying over everything: groceries, a gemo, even stray cats. Hito tries to comfort her, but nothing works. The only thing he can do is stay with her during her nightmares, letting her sleep beside him at the cost of his own rest. By New Year's Eve, he's completely exhausted. While Yuki handles chores, Hito finally naps. Later, she looks for him to go shopping but finds he's already gone, leaving a note. Slightly disappointed, she goes alone with Aimo, visits a supermarket for the first time, and buys roast beef. But when she gets home, Hito is already cooking, and he bought the same thing. Overwhelmed, she breaks down again, apologizing non-stop, even during dinner. Hito feels helpless. That night, he sleeps on the couch and Yuki quietly covers him with a blanket. The next morning, Riko arrives for the shrine, but Hito won't wake up. She casually mentions it's also his birthday, and Yuki freezes, tears immediately forming. Deciding she'll only cry more, she stays behind. Seeing a message from Naka, Yuki goes to the shrine alone. There, she draws a fortune warning of uncertainty and loss. Her hands shake as she breaks down, admitting to Naka she's afraid of losing Hito. Naka comforts her, explaining that tears come from overflowing emotions and can help ease the pain. Encouraged, Yuki lets it out and later prays to continue living with Hito and her friends. Meanwhile, Hito sleeps through everything. Even when his father calls, he doesn't wake up. And eventually, his dad just decides to head home on his own, completely unaware of everything that's happened. As Yuki walks home with Naka, the mood slowly lifts when Naka realizes it's Hito's birthday. Instantly excited, she insists Yuki should get him a special gift, something meaningful, something he'd never forget. Yuki, however, has no idea where to start. When asked what Hito likes, her first answer is pork cutlets, which Naka immediately shuts down. That's food, not a gift. After thinking harder, Yuki remembers he likes action figures, though she awkwardly calls them dolls. Thankfully, Naka understands and drags her to a toy store. Inside, Yuki spots a figure Hito already owns and assumes that means he must really like it, so she decides to get the same one. The problem? It's from a gacha machine. Now she's stuck trying again and again, only to keep getting the wrong ones. After several failures, frustration builds, and like usual lately, she starts crying. Naka struggles to calm her down, but out of nowhere, an older man steps in and offers her advice. He tells her to stop crying, claiming tears weaken her resolve, then rambles about needing determination and a strong will to defeat the machine. Desperate, Yuki takes it seriously. She locks in, glares at the machine, and threatens it with pure intensity. Somehow, it works. She finally gets the figure she wanted. Overjoyed, she thanks the man, who admits he once went through the same struggle for his son before walking away. Yuki quietly admires him, seeing him as both kind and cool. Back home, Riko wakes Hito up with a literal karate chop, yelling at him for sleeping through his own birthday. She reminds him their dad is coming, which immediately puts him on edge, especially when he realizes he never told Yuki. That realization spirals into deeper thoughts about his past, his distant relationship with his father, and the unresolved pain from his parents' separation. Before he can sink too far, a message from Naka snaps him back. Yuki had a rough time at the shrine. When Yuki returns, clearly having cried, Hito finally tells her the truth about his dad coming and decides not to hide her. Instead, he resolves to stand by her no matter what, but when their dad arrives, everything flips. He's the same man Yuki met earlier. While Riko greets him warmly, Hito stays tense. As conversations unfold, Hito realizes how much he doesn't know about both his father and Yuki, and how often he's avoided asking the questions that matter. Eventually, as his dad prepares to leave, Hito finally speaks up, asking if Yuki can stay with him. For once, he's honest about what he wants, and his father supports him. That moment lifts a weight off him. Later, on the rooftop, Yuki gives Hito his gift, only to realize she accidentally broke it. But instead of things falling apart again, Hito opens up. He shares his past, his fears, and his desire for them to truly act like a family that communicates openly. Yuki, overwhelmed, asks if she can really be his family. Hito admits his feelings, telling her he likes her. Yuki smiles and says she likes him too, but without romantic meaning. To her, it's family. And just like that, Hito's heart quietly breaks. That night, he cries alone, thinking his confession failed. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, Yuki suddenly finds herself thinking about his words, her heart racing in a way she doesn't understand yet. Thanks for watching, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.